Ladies and gentlemen, I will be going over everything you need to know about an emergency fund. Here's the why and how to start. Welcome back. My name is Alex Sanchez. In this channel, we talk about money, investing, and real estate. If you find this video worth watching, please consider subscribing. If you're already a subscriber, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my weekly videos. Speaking of subscribing, I want to take a second to thank all my subscribers. Just last week, we hit 1,000 subscribers. I am super thankful and I'm so excited that some of you guys are interested in what I talk about. I wanted to mention I'll be doing a giveaway within the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned to the end of this video so you can get more info on how you can win my channel giveaway. For those of you wondering what an emergency fund is, it's the amount of money put away in a savings account that is sacred. It's only there for what we call emergencies. Emergencies are things like unexpected expenses, like a car breakdown, home repairs, family emergencies, or even a job loss. That emergency fund is there to protect you from financial distress. It's kind of like your insurance to protect you from the bad, unexpected financial issues that always seem to come up when you least expect them. Having an emergency fund is what keeps you alive, and it keeps you from drowning from your finances, and quite honestly, it helps me sleep better at night. Everyone's emergency fund is a little different, and it depends on their financial situation. An emergency fund should start off with about $1,000 because it's a good rule of thumb where most people are able to start. Although $1,000 is mostly an arbitrary number, it still helps to start your emergency fund. According to many statistics and from past experiences, there's a lot of people that don't even have $1,000 in savings, meaning that any expense close to that, if not more, will put them in a financial ruin. As a matter of fact, in the making of this video, the great old mighty Graham Stephan posted a video not too long ago. It was about a couple days ago in his second channel, literally called Why You Need an Emergency Fund. And famous Dave Ramsey always preaches the importance of starting an emergency fund. And quite honestly, he was the one who introduced an emergency fund over to me. It is important to start off with $1,000 if you're barely beginning in this journey because it motivates you to start saving more. It gives you the morale boost and you start to gain motivation and you get excited to start the next step of this process. According to CNBC, 40% of Americans can't even cover a $1,000 expense without getting a personal loan or getting into debt. And since 2015, GoBank Rate has been doing surveys and asking people how much money they have in their savings account. A whopping 5,000 people were surveyed, and only 58% of the people surveyed said that they didn't even have $1,000 saved up. But on the bright side, if you're one of those people, you won't be anymore because you're watching this phenomenal video. After you saved your first $1,000, you might start to realize that this savings game makes you feel pretty good. You start feeling like Money Mayweather and you instantly smash that like button to support the YouTube channel. If that's not enough, you finally start to habitually save more money and you eventually decide that you're ready for bigger and better things. The next step of this emergency fund is to have at least 3 months of living expenses saved, if not more. But in order for you to know what the number is, you need to figure out how much money you're spending every single month. From there, you multiply that by 3 months. This is the part that gets a little tricky for some people because of the following reason. Some people literally think they make 2 times more money than what they actually make. They have an expensive house payment, they have a car note, or sometimes 2, and you bet it's a nice car because there's no point of driving older used cars. Seriously, nothing says I'm not successful like driving a 9-year-old Ford Edge with a peeling plasti dip grill. And if you know me, unfortunately, that's what I drive. No shame. These type of individuals like to take on monthly debt repayments because they can afford to make the payments every single month. Well, obviously that's until the unexpected happens, and as we all know, stuff happens because that's what life is all about. Anyways, my point is the higher your monthly living expenses are, the harder it will be for you to save for an emergency fund. And that's because you would need a bigger stack of cash to protect you from a financial crisis. If you find yourself in that situation, no worries. I have a way to speed up the process of your savings rate that will help you get to 3 months of expenses quite faster. During this step, it is crucial you stop adding more credit card debt, loan repayments, and other sorts of consumer debt to your life. At this point, you might already have big credit card balances and other debt repayments like student loans and your vehicle notes. The prudent thing to do after you stop acquiring consumer debt is to start paying off your current debt as soon as you possibly can. The less monthly payments you have every single single month, the more money you start seeing in your bank account. And that's because you've erased that monthly payment out of your life. After you do that, you attack your next debt repayment. Now, if you think I'm crazy and you're starting to feel uncomfortable with what I'm saying, and you want to click off this video and possibly unsubscribe, then we're heading in the right direction. There's a reason why not a lot of people don't have a fully funded savings account, and that's because it's easier said than done. See, this video is here to help you and motivate you to succeed. But remember, the whole process is meant to feel uncomfortable or out of reach at times, because this all takes time. It takes self-discipline and the ability to give up the usual lifestyle you're accustomed to. The smaller your monthly debt repayments get and the higher your income is, the more you can save. The more you save, the faster you fund your 3-month emergency. I know I'm starting to sound like a broken record, but this step starts to become pretty hard, and sometimes it's what ends the progress, because you soon fall back into the trap of overspending more than you make. It's important to be realistic and remember that this might take a while, so patience is key. Another idea to help you pay off debt faster is for you to take on another side hustle. A combination of that and reducing your discretionary spending drastically will put you in Super Saiyan mode towards financial success. The last step of funding your emergency fund means having close to 6 months of monthly expenses saved up, if not more. By now, you're on a roll and you have pretty much made it a habit to save money. You now know the routine. You pay yourself first and you pay debt down little by little. At this point, your emergency fund is as big as you want it to be, meaning that if you have 3 to 6 months of expenses saved up and you feel comfortable, then that's all you need. I'm very conservative and I always like to think that the worst will happen eventually, so I aim for at least 8 to 12 months of expenses saved up. If worst comes to worst, my income is insured for that amount of time. As a lot of Americans know today, in times like these, you can lose your job. So even though you might think your job is protected or it's essential, it's always good to assume that the worst can happen and that you might lose your job and you have zero income coming in. An emergency fund is overlooked by so many people out there. Unfortunately, too many people live paycheck to paycheck and are so close to financial ruin. It's important to start, and if you already started your emergency fund, then you're way ahead of most people. To answer the common questions of how much money should you have in your emergency fund, it all comes down to your lifestyle expenses. It varies differently for every individual. It is important to start, especially during times of uncertainty like we are in right now. We should never take our income for granted, and we should always work on ways to create other sources of income. It is very wise to remember that something unexpected might happen, and as a matter of fact, it probably will happen. Your emergency fund is there to protect you from a financial catastrophe and help you overcome those financial hurdles. All right, guys, if you made it to the end of this video and you're wondering about the 1,000 subscriber giveaway, I will be doing a giveaway to one random subscriber of the channel. To enter the giveaway, you have to be a subscriber, obviously, and you have to give this video a like. You have to comment down below for the YouTube algorithm. And lastly, you have to follow me on Instagram and DM me to verify all steps have been completed. Trust me, all that hard work will be worth the giveaway you might get from yours truly. With that said, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it brought a ton of value to you, and please don't be afraid to give it a like, comment down below again for the YouTube algorithm, and most importantly, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram if you want to follow my journey, and I will catch you guys in the next one.